Well, Grammy award-winning flutist Wouter Kellerman has embarked on a new project in which he features Ndlovu Youth Choir. The collaboration renders Ed Sheeran's song Shape of You, and the IsiZulu song has become an internet hit.
Hello baby, mntwana sekasini ngezithupa ngifuna ukuthetha. Sithema ngifike kasizolo singabona intombi yaseGoli. Asangane khana ngibambalana ngekalana, then my friends told me I'm slow. I'm shy go high and I'm shy smile. I'm mntwana uyababa, now take my hand. Wazange xoxela indaba bambo lwami nayihlala phansi, and I'm singing like yazi ngifuna uthando lwakho. Inhliziyo yakho yadalelwa mina, angazi uyangifaka uyangikhipha. I may be crazy, don't mind me, but hey, I'll just straight it up. Hambe ngesandla sondele duze. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. Ngiyasithanda isitho sakho, ngiyamthinta nomini. Kenziyo yami iqala ikhunjunga, ngiyazifela ngomzimba wakho. Izolo sukudelela kimi, uhlolekane ingane, wangishiya ngefukela imali. Ngiyazifela nawe,
Well, tonight we are joined on Skype by flutist and a Grammy Award winner Wouter Kellerman, who is on a tour of India. A very good evening to you, Mr. Kellerman. Welcome to the Full View. Well, the Ndlovu Youth Choir originates from a small town in Limpopo. How essentially did this collaboration with them come about?
Hi, Shante. Very nice to chat to you. Yes, my manager, Tulsi Pillay, actually heard them first, and then she introduced me to them. And when I heard them, I just completely fell in love with their sound and their energy and their spirit, and I just really wanted to do something special with them. And their director, Ralph Schmidt, suggested The Shape of You, which is actually, they had been working on that song. And yeah, so I decided to give it the go-ahead. We started working together on it, and it's just been a dream. You know, a dream route that we traveled, and we're just so excited to see that it's making waves as it is.
Definitely, it has received rave reviews the world over. How have you received the global traction that this feature and collaboration has received? Did you ever anticipate it to be this big?
Well, no, I didn't think it'll be this big. I knew it will be something special because, you know, they had been working on this song, and when Ralph sent me their first recordings, I was just completely amazed at how beautifully they sing it. So I knew it was going to be something really special. But, you know, the actual attention that and the way it blew up took us all by surprise.
Yeah, definitely. Wouter, we're just going to give our viewers a glimpse of some of the awards that you've gotten, as well as some of the Grammys that you've received. Let's have a look.
And the Grammy goes to... There we go. Winds of Sound.
I'm from South Africa, Ricky's from India, and we wrote this music for Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi, and for their ideals of peace, love and tolerance. Thank you to Ricky for being such an amazing collaborator. Thank thanks to my manager and friend who's been with me like a rock for the last 9 years. Your enthusiasm, perseverance, and grit, Tulsi, really rocks me.
Of course, just taking a bit of a flashback to 2015, of course, making mention that you wrote this song for Utata Madiba. Of course, it's befitting as we celebrate 100th centenary of Utata. But take us through the theme and the cause of the concert that you're currently touring in India as you continue to do that with other nominated and Grammy Award winners.
Yes, we're doing some very interesting shows in India. We just did last night. We did a big show in Chennai, and it's a show about environmental consciousness. So we really try and spread that message of being environmentally conscious. And then from this, I'm going to Jodhpur, where I'm playing at the Rajasthan International Folk Festival. My band's coming over as well. And we're doing a collaboration with the Rajasthanian folk musicians. You know, these are people who've never left their town. They don't speak English. We've got translators helping us in the process, and we're spending a few days with them, and then putting this big show up at the fort on top of the hill in Jodhpur. So that's going to be very exciting. From there, we're going to Geneva to do a show for the UN. Also on environmental consciousness, and then I'm going to Amsterdam to play with my friend Wessel van Rensburg, and from there we're going to New York to play at Carnegie Hall. So it's very much a whirlwind tour at the moment, and very exciting, all the different types of music we're playing.
And just take us through the importance of having themes and having causes involved in some of the concerts that you participate in.
Yes, you know, from the beginning I've always thought that I would like to spread good energy with the music, because that's how I feel about my music. There's a good spirit, there's a good energy, and the Grammy-winning album was about spreading Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi's message of peace, love, and tolerance. And so was my next album, which was called Love Language. That was about how different cultures spread their life or communicate their love through music. And that was followed by Symphonic Soweto, which was for Madiba for his centenary. Since then, I've also been working on environmental issues. So, you know, I like to connect the music that I make with good causes and a good message.
Yeah, definitely. Now, speaking of Madiba and his centenary, let's have a look at the cause there with the Long Road. Same with Madiba, in some of your concerts as well as your theme tours that you will be participating. You mentioned there Amsterdam as well as in Geneva, and then making your way to New York. Will you be paying special tribute to Udada?
Sorry, say that again. I just didn't get that last sentence.
Will you continue to be paying tribute to Nelson Mandela and also playing that song Long Road, in which you wrote for him, in some of your upcoming tour dates?
Yes, I have been performing it all over the world. I've performed it probably hundreds of times all over the world in tribute to Madiba. And that the song Long Road actually has some very interesting sounds. I use the full extent of the flute vocabulary. So I do beatboxing on the flute. We call it flute boxing. Do some long, beautiful melodic notes that you've just heard there. Also sing and play at the same time. And yes, that's always a part of my repertoire, and very much an important part of you know, the message I'm trying to spread. And people love hearing that piece. So I always find a spot in any show to do it.
And what else can we be expecting from Wouter Kellerman? We saw this amazing feature rendering, of course, Ed Sheeran in collaboration with the Ndlovu Youth Choir. Do you have any other charms up your sleeve?
Yes, I want to do some more work with the Ndlovu Youth Choir. They're just so amazing, and I love working with kids. And I just love to see the difference it makes in a young child. You make a little bit of a difference in their life, and that spreads on into their future, and that gets spread on to the next generation. So I'm going to carry on working with them. But yes, I have more collaborations with musicians all over the world. That's constantly happening, because I'm inherently a curious person and a curious musician, always interested in cultures and the different ways we can express ourselves through music.
Yeah, and just take us through your relationship that you seem to have established with the Ndlovu Youth Choir. You're an esteemed, established Grammy Award-winning artist. How important is it to be working with young, up-and-coming, children or individuals in the music industry?
I think it's so important, but for me it's just a natural thing. I just love to work with them. It's just something. There's absolutely no doubt or no question about it, and just that youthful spirit. That's what music is about, and spreading that energy and joy into the world. So but I think it is important to carry on and work with the younger people and get that message and also communicate what I know to them and help them to travel their own life and their own road.
We thank you very much for speaking to us tonight on The Full View. A flutist and a Grammy Award-winning Wouter Kellerman, just telling us about his collaboration with the Ndlovu Youth Choir, as well as the rave reviews that it has gotten on that rendition of Ed Sheeran's Shape of You. We thank you very much for your time. Also giving us some updates as to where we can catch him across the globe, and also his tributes that he has continued to do across the world this year in tribute to Utata Madiba as we celebrate his 100th centenary.